So I'm going to go into the King of Kings. I'm going to show you that it already happened. I'm going to show you how it's already happened here on the earth. There is nobody else on the earth that's been king of all the kings here on earth from the first century, common era, until the present. And I'm going to show you how, okay? How this is already fulfilled. The King of Kings, Revelations 19:16, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh the name written, King of Kings. I'm going to show you this already happened. And Lord of Lords. All right. King and Kings. How would it happen? All right. First century. I'm going to go through a list of rulers who converted to Christianity. Okay. First century. According to the tradition, Saint Abgar, an Assyrian, was the first Christian king of the first century, the son of the Parthian king Arsham. He was also called Senior Man, as he was the wisest of all and of genius. So first century, first Christian king. In the first century, believed in Yeshua HaMashiach, the King of Kings. Second century, Lucius of Britain. Lucius, which means light. Lucius of Britain was supposed second century king of the Britons, traditionally credited with introducing Christianity to Britain. Lucius is first mentioned in the 6th century version of the Liber Pontificalis, which says that he sent a letter to Pope Eleutherius asking to be made a Christian. 2nd century. So we got 1st century Christian king, 2nd century Christian king. Now let's get 3rd century Christian king. Marinian the third of Iberia. Now we're getting to Spain, right? Marinian third was the king of Iberia, or Cartili, contemporaneous to the Roman Emperor Constantine the Great. So he was around the same time around Constantine the Great, who was another king that converted to Christianity, or the belief of Hamashiach, right? He was the founder of the royal uh, Khosroid dynasty. According to the early medieval Georgian annals and hagiography, Marinian was the first Christian king of Iberia. Goes back to 300 common era. All right, so we got first century king believed in, who was ruled by Yeshua or Jesus or Joshua or Yahushai. First Christian king, first century, third century, first century, second century, and third century kings that was ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach, right? Now let's go to the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 14th, 16th, and 19th centuries of kings that were ruled by Yeshua HaMashiach. All right. 4th century. Oh, there's a list of them. Abgar the 5th, king of Osroni, with his capital at Edessa. And there's another one. Tiridates the 3rd of Armenia, king of Armenia, in 301. Ezana of Axium, king of Axum. Constantine the First, Roman Emperor, 337. Marinian the Third of Iberia, king of Iberia, 337. All right, let's read that again. Revelation 19 and 16. I'm proving to you this has already happened. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Let's go back to the list. Just in the 4th century, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Let's get 5th century. Kings. Oengus Mac Nod Froik, king of Munster. He also was ruled by Yahushua HaMashiach. Clovis the First, king of the Franks, circa 496 to 506. He was also ruled by the King of Kings. Chayar, or Rekayar, king of Subai, was also ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach. Let's go to 6th century. Constantine of Dunonia was a 6th century king of Dunonia in sub-Roman Britain, who was remembered in the latter British tradition as a legendary king of Britain. He was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Saint Constantine of Strathclyde was a reputed the son and successor of King Roderick. All right, he was also a king in the 6th century, ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach. Raedwald of East Anglia was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Rekkared the First, king of the Visigoths, and Hermanglid was also ruled by Hamashiach, sub-king to in Yetica, converted from Armenianism to the Nicene faith. So he was also, both these also were ruled by, kings were also ruled by Hamashiach. Let's go to the 7th century. Ethelbereth of Kent was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Senworth of Wessex was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Gills of Wexis, Sigeberth of East Anglia, Rederick the First of Altclut, Peda of Mercia, Edwin of Northumbria were all kings ruled by Hamashiach in the 7th century. Gracias. Okay, let's go to the 9th century. How many kings were ruled by Hamashiach? Boris the First of Bulgaria was ruled by who they called Jesus, right? Or Yeshua, or Yahushai, right? Was also ruled by the King of Kings. Guthrum was a king ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach. Borivol the First, Duke of Bohemia, was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Doric of Dorstad was also a king ruled by Jesus Christ. Harald Klak was also a king ruled by Jesus Christ, Hamashiach, Yeshua. Myziko, the First of Poland, was also another king ruled by Hamashiach. Giza, Grand Prince of the Hungarians, was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Vladimir the First of Kiev was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Harold Bluetooth of Denmark and Norway was also a king of ruled by Hamashiach. Eric the Victorious was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Akan the Good was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Olaf Skoktonung, king of Sweden, was also ruled by Yeshua. 14th century, Ogola, Grand Duke of Lithuania and King of Poland, was also ruled by Yeshua HaMashiach. Nizinga of Nundogo and Matamba was also a queen ruled by Hamashiach. Alfonso I of Congo was also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Humambang Rahag of Cebu, also ruled by the King of Kings. Bunoa Lakan Dula was also ruled by the King of Kings. Larkin of Tondo. Raha Matanada of Manila was also a king ruled by Yeshua Hamashiach. Otomo Sorin was also ruled. He was the king of the Japanese royalty, also ruled by the King of Kings, Yeshua Hamashiach. Arima Harunobo was also a king ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach. Omura Samitada was also ruled by the King of Kings, Hamashiach, according to Revelations 19 and 16, which has already happened. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lords of Lords. Right? And if you're just joining us, I showed you how, um, you know, that Yeshua is a spirit, okay, ruling all these kings. All right? Let's continue. 19th century. Honi Hiki is also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Keopuolani is also a king ruled by Hamashiach, according to Revelations 19. Ka'aumanu is also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Kamehameha III is also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Tamati Wakanini is also a king ruled by Hamashiach. Rana Valona II of Madagascar is also a king or a queen ruled by a ruler ruled by Hamashiach. Po, and we do, when the scriptures speaking of men, it's all speaking of women too. Pomari II is also another king ruled by Hamashiach. Du Li Singh was also king ruled by Hamashiach, right? And I don't think it, now that it's showing this guy, it didn't show, what is the Rastafarian dude? Rastafarian dude. I can't remember his name, but he's the Ethiopian king. They believed in the Bible, right? I think they believed in the whole Bible, right? Yeah, so I'm showing you that this already happened in the spirit. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written. And why didn't it mention Ferdinand and Queen Isabel? That's like the main ones, right? King Ferdinand. It's weird. Ferdinand. King Ferdinand. He was ruled like this is the main one. I don't know why I didn't mention this, because this is the whole thing that turned me on to that. This has already happened. Was this? Because they came in the spirit of the revenge of God, bro, on all the 10 tribes, Northern Kingdom tribes. King Ferdinand, Ferdinand, whatever, called the Great Almagno, was the Count of Castile from his uncle's death in 1029 and the King of Leon. After defeating his brother-in-law in 1037, according to tradition, he was the first to have himself crowned Emperor of Spain. But they believed Queen Isabel and King Ferdinand, they were Catholics, bro. So they were ruled by the King of Kings, and they came over in that spirit of vengeance, just like it say. We'll read it to you from the top, right? Look, Revelations 19 and 8 and 2. Hold on. Revelations 19 and 8. Salakia. Revelations 19. The King of Kings. 19 and 11. And I saw heaven opened, and behold a white horse, and he that sat on him. People was trying to find things with their eyes, bro. This is the problem. This is the problem with a lot of brothers, is they're trying to, especially black only Israelites, they can only see things with their eyes. They have no spiritual eyes. Okay, And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him was called Faithful and True, and in righteousness he doeth judge and make war, right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. He was clothed in a vesture dripped in blood. That's Isaiah 63, and I'm going to get it. And his name is called the Word of God, which is Jesus Cristo, right? And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, because everything happens in the spiritual realm first, and then it happens here on the physical realm. This is why the Spanish came over, and all of these European kings were Christians, and they believed in Jesus Christ, bro. And they came over here whipping our ass and killing us and committing genocide, just like Yahweh promised he would do to us through his wrath and his anger, right? And his curses, man. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen and clean, white and clean. And out of his mouth goes a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. This is why Christians nations took over the whole world, because they was in the spirit of who they called Jesus Christ, bro. Right? And out of his mouth goeth the sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with the rod of iron. And he treadeth the winepress. This is Isaiah 63. He treadeth the winepress. Who did? Who they called Jesus Christ came over in the spirit and the wrath of Yahweh, and he just killed us, bro. Commit genocide on us for all our idolatries, right? 19 and 15, and out of his mouth goeth the sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with an rod of iron. He treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty God. That is directly quoting Isaiah 63. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings. How many kings did I just showed you? I showed you about 100 of them, right? And Lord of Lords. And I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls and that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great God. And all these nations and all these kings that believed in who they called Jesus Christ came over here, and they got rich. They divided up our land, bro. They raped and robbed all of our resources, and they came to the supper of the great feast, bro. And they all got rich. All right, that ye may eat the flesh of kings. What kings? The Mayan kings, the Aztec kings, and the flesh of the captains, and the flesh of the mighty men, and the flesh of the horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, small and great. And this is what happened during colonialism, man. And that's it.